morning. What a beautiful Saturday we have today to enjoy our third annual Social Justice Conference. Our students have worked extremely hard this year to put together all of the work that you're going to see today, and they are super excited about sharing it with you. It takes conflict and compromise sometimes to make change, especially social change. And agents of change are what Capital Prep is all about. So we can't wait to share all of our changes with you. We're going to start our ceremony off with a welcome address from none other than our principal, Dr. Ferguson. So Dr. Ferguson, I welcome you to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? I feel like if I use my cheerleading voice, you can hear me, right? Okay. So good morning. Thank you for being here this morning for our third annual Social Justice Conference. I can't tell you how much it means to have your presence here, investing in our students, showing them how much you believe in the work that they're doing. This is a highlight for us because this is the day we look forward to, that we can showcase the product of years and years of work and being around change agents and being social justice trailblazers. We often get the question as we go out, we go to magnet fairs and we go talk to different people, and they say, what does social justice mean? What does it mean to be social justice? Is that like STEM, or is that like performing arts, or what does that mean? And social justice is everything around us. So I asked my younger kids, pre-K, K, what does social justice mean? One of my friends share their toys with me. And as we get a little older, in first and second grade is, well, when people are nice to you, when you make friends. And then when, we collaborate and we work together with people that are unlike us or have a different experience than we have, and we can solve problems together. And as we get older into our high school, we start talking about the reallocation of resources to make sure that people have equal access and that there's some equity and equality in the world that we live in. When I think of social justice, all of that comes down to one word for me, which is just love. And all the acts we do when we teach kids how to share, how to be friends with each other, how to collaborate with people who are not like us, how to be problem solvers, how to look at big problems and figure out how to tackle them, how to look at resource allocation and how we might redistribute it. We do all of that as an act of love. It's because we love the world we live in, it's because we love our communities, it's because we love each other, and because we love ourselves. And in loving yourself, you want more for the people around you. And so that's what social justice means. And that's what we spend 15 years teaching our kids as they start pre-K and go all the way up through high school. It's a work in progress. But today what we see is a finished product. We have the honor of seeing 9 social justice projects that have already met. Out giving your time. I want to thank our esteemed guests for being here this morning, again, giving time and showing the kids how important this is and how much you believe in them. And thank all of the staff for your work in getting our kids ready, not just for this day, but just simply getting them ready every day. And thank you, parents, for sending them ready every day, that we might be blessed to do our job and continue in the education of your students. So, thank you for being here. Students, I'm looking forward to seeing your presentations and you showing your wares. This is your day. All of the students here, this is your day to be you and to show everybody the hard work that you've put in. I think at this point, I'm going to introduce Gabe Slade. Do I see Gabe Slade? Gabe, you gonna come up and do the Pledge of Allegiance? Yes? And then after Gabe Slade, we'll have a student performance of my very, very favorite social justice song. I won't spoil the surprise, but we'll have a student performance singing my favorite song.
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone.
everyone. Good morning. I will be singing If You're Out There by John Legend. If you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling every woman, I'm calling every man. We're a generation, we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we're already late. We've been looking for a song to sing, search for a melody, searching for someone to lead. We've been looking for the world to change. If you feel the same, then go on and say if you're out there. Sing along with me if you're out there. I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now. No more broken promises, no more call to war, unless it's love and peace that we're really fighting for. We can destroy hunger, we can conquer hate. Put down your arms and raise your voice, we're joining hands today. We've been looking for a song to sing, search for a leader, but the leader was me. We've been looking for the world to change. We can be heroes, just go on and say if you're out there. Sing along with me if you're out there. I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now. Now, now. Whoa, now, now, now. If you're ready, we can save the world. Believe again, start to mend. We don't have to wait for destiny. We should be the change that we want to see if you're out there. Oh, oh, oh. If you're out there and you're ready now, sing it loud if you're out there. Sing along with me if you're out there. I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud if you're out there. Tomorrow's starting now.
As always, beautiful job, Kayla, beautiful job. So now it's time to get down to some business. A social justice conference at Capitol Prep is never complete without our next special guest. A self-proclaimed justice seeker, and rightfully so, Miss Elizabeth Horton-Sheff has spent most of her life fighting for justice. Without her bravery and without her hard work, magnet schools like Capitol Prep would not be possible. And in fact, the beautiful room that you're standing in has been named in her honor. Dr. Perry might tell you why the school's not named in her honor later, but that's another story. I would like to introduce, and it is with great pleasure, to bring up Miss Elizabeth Horton-Sheff.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't need that, right? Y'all good with me, right? You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I bring you greetings from the Sheff plaintiffs and lawyers and the members of the Sheff Movement Coalition. It's always, always, always an honor to be at Capitol Prep. I go by this school almost every single day, and I look at that building and say, there's teaching and learning going on in there. So I am excited again to bring a few moments on this stage with you today. Conflict and compromise. Karl Marx, sociologist, would say that conflict is the struggle between classes, between the haves and the have-nots, between those who have access to resources and those who do not. That is the essence of how I feel when I think about social justice. Conflict is inherent to social justice. I want you to know that specifically, conflict is inherent to social justice, which means everybody's not going to like you, right? In fact, when you go against the grain of society, there are people who are going to not only not like you, but they will try to persecute you. Dr. Perry can tell you, I can tell you, others can tell you, people who went before us on the social justice trail can tell you, and we know that there are those who died on this trail trying to make a better world. So as students of social justice, you have to come to terms with the fact that your quest is honorable, but that there may be times when you walk that path alone. There may be times when you walk that path alone. And that's okay. I am quite known to say, you do not have to like me. We are not having Sunday dinner together. But we will work on this social justice issue. We will make effort to change the tide that has brought us to this horrible situation we are in now. So I do compromise a little bit. Because when you compromise, you realize that you are giving up a little bit of what you actually believe to try to make something work. And that's appropriate. That's negotiation. That's how you move forward. However, it is up to you to understand yourself, to know when compromise crosses the line. When you compromise so much that your convictions, that your beliefs, that your efforts become diluted because somebody put something in the newspaper, or somebody said something on the radio, or somebody came up to you at the gas station and lit into you, then that is when you lose your passion for social justice. And I know this school hosts that idea, and I know you students cling to that idea. It is 30 years that we have been on the trail to provide quality integrated education for students. An opportunity for students of all different racial, ethnic, economic backgrounds to come together, to learn together, to play together, to fight together, to move forward together to make this a better year. 30 years. That is a long time. That's older than every student in Capital Prep. And I will continue on this trail. As a matter of fact, we go back to court this summer to continue to fight for not only your education, but for the education of children and students who will come behind you. That's all right with me, because I know that if someone didn't stand in the middle of the road and clear the path for me, I wouldn't be where I am. So I'm good with that. That's paying it forward. That means that I know that I have a responsibility that I take very, very serious. So as I close out, I want to tell you a little bit more about me. Yes, I'm a social justice advocate, and people seem to box me in around education. And while education is my main focus, I worry about other social justice issues. I worry about the fact that we do not have enough clean water in our nation. I worry about the fact that there are people in communities who don't have access to decent food. I worry about police brutality. I worry about no transportation. I worry about recycling. Because all of these things, plus more, actually make up, compose the world we live in. So I am worried about the world we live in. But when I look around this room and I see your faces, I see hope. I see hope for the future because I know that one day you will be where we stand fighting for the rights of all people, regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless. We will be fighting shoulder to shoulder. Well, my spirit will be with you, I hope. Shoulder to shoulder, right. Okay. So I thank you again for being Capital Prep students. I am very proud of you. I'm proud of your teachers, your principals, your staff here. And I want you to continue on, dig deep, look hard, ask questions. Don't take the answer as the answer. Do your own work. Because social justice requires that you analyze, compare, yes, compromise, but it also means that you make your decisions about how your life is going to be. Thank you for these few minutes. Again, in this third conference, I'll be back next year, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Thank you again, Ms. Chef. We love having you here. This year, Capital Prep has used the phrase, just ask Capital Prep, quite a bit, especially starting in about November. If anybody's following the public, you know, there's been a lot of stuff said about our school. And this phrase came about to let everybody know we're not going to sit here and argue with you because we don't need to. Our proof is in what our kids do, so just ask our kids. And that includes our first graduating class of 2006. And today we have an alumnus here with us who graduated in 2006 and has quite a story for the past 10, 12 years. So I would like to introduce Crystal Rosario Gonzalez and invite her to the stage to share her story.
Good morning.
Morning.
I actually do need to use the mic. All right, so I was invited here today to talk about my experience as a trailblazer and to share some of my conflicts and compromises. My reoccurring theme, personally, has been education. Education has been my pathway to a better life. And I know that you've all heard something similar before. Today I'm going to take a few minutes and share my personal story and how education has impacted me and my journey. As a child, I moved around a lot. I mostly grew up right down the street off of Albany Avenue here in the north end of Hartford, not too far from here, walking distance. For the most part, my mother was a single mom with 3 jobs. And we had the basics. Most of my clothes were secondhand. From a food perspective, and I know that was mentioned, You know, it was mostly Cheerios, those little juice jugs, and mac and cheese. I didn't look the way that I look today. I didn't speak the way that I speak today. My vocabulary was not large. While helping raise my 2 younger siblings, I did very well in school. I joined the Connecticut Collegiate Awareness and Preparatory Program, CONCAP, which developed Capital Preparatory Magnet School, and I was the first graduating class of Capital Prep. What did this mean for me? I was encouraged to try new things and be a part of creating the foundation for this School of Social Justice. I played basketball, I participated in student council, I had projects, and all different types of activities. Senior year was my best education experience. Even as a 17-year-old, I understood the importance of college and knew the opportunities that it would give me. I learned about being an agent of change and bettering our community. What did I have to overcome? Being an inner city poor kid, there are a lot of threats and risks. I learned to cut toxic people out of my life. Smoking, drugs, gangs, fights, abusive relationships, sexual assault, sexual harassment, manipulation, hate, and so many other traps existed in my world, and they still do for students today. In order to break the cycle of poverty, I, like many of you, had to be book smart and street smart. What did that mean? I learned about the world and how my life could be outside and well past anything that I knew or had ever been exposed to. I learned to confront issues and avoid danger and distractions. I learned to say no or no thank you. This can sometimes feel like a lonely and a difficult road, but I promise you it's not. There are a lot of people around here that are like how you are or how you want to be. You just have to open your heart and reach out to them. At Capital Prep, I learned about diversity: age, race, ethnicity, gender, different experiences. I also learned to forgive. I forgive those who said I would be nothing or called me a ghetto baby. I forgive those who called me a hood rat or said I was worthless. I forgive those who hit me or who hurt me. I forgive those who did not want me to succeed. And I forgive those who tried to lead me down the wrong path. I'm not a sellout, and I'm not being untrue to my roots. It is more than okay to become successful while giving back or helping others succeed as well. Don't forget where you came from. But by bettering yourself, you're going to put yourself in a better situation to make a bigger difference. It's difficult to help others when you don't succeed yourself. Success does not mean settling. Don't settle in your education. Don't settle with your job. Don't settle with your life partner. Keep working towards what you want. I want to share some of my accomplishments, especially for the students in the room. I currently live in Simsbury, Connecticut, in my first single-family home. I'm the first generation to go to college, and I graduated from Connecticut College in 3 years. And in 14 days, I'll be graduating as a Master in Business Administration from the University of Hartford. I have a healthy marriage with a wonderful husband who immigrated to this country, and I have an intelligent daughter who, even with some health issues, is developing beautifully and loves school. I have achieved all the goals that I have set, and my life is how I choose it to be. To conclude, there's always an opportunity to do good, to donate, to volunteer, or create change. Forgiveness does not mean I accept hateful or mean behavior, and I'm not saying to do that. I have been very successful in my career as a businesswoman, and I always do what's right. You can too. Anthony Tony Robbins, an American author, once said, "Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible." This is supported by a positive correlation between results and setting goals and planning. Set goals, achieve them, be purposeful with your success, and build healthy relationships. Ask for help from successful people. They're all around you. And never, let me repeat, never let anyone tell you that you can't. Thank you.
To that, I think I just have to say, just ask Capital Prep. Thank you, Crystal. I speak for all of us when I say that we are very proud of you and are inspired by your story. Next, we're going to have our keynote speaker. He's a man who I don't really think needs an introduction, so when I was putting together what I wanted to say, it was really hard, and I decided I'll just start with a really quick story. 7 years ago, I graduated college, moved to Connecticut, heard about Capital Prep, was like, I really want to teach at that school. Heard they had an opening, I applied, met with Mr. Vigansky, the vice principal at the time, and he was like, come back in, you can meet Dr. Perry, we think you'd be a fit here. Sat down, shook his hand, he stared at me, and he said, I got one question for you. Why should I hire you? And I lost everything and thought I was doomed. In the next 15 minutes, I said something, I don't remember what, because I blacked out, because I was like, Dr. Perry is across from me right now. And he took a chance on me, and 7 years later I'm here, and so I really, really am very honored to say thank you to Dr. Perry, because without him this school and my job and my career wouldn't really be possible. So let's give a round of applause for Dr. Perry.
I'll use my principal's voice. I still have some of it left from the game I was at yesterday in Harlem. We had our 6th grade basketball game against the Harlem Neighborhood Charter School, and we lost by 3 points. So any one of you who know me know 2 things. 1, I lost my voice, and 2, I'm not happy still today. I want to take a second to thank our principal, Dr. Kitsa Ferguson. Please, if you will give it up for her. Mine is an opportunity to stand on the shoulders of greatness. And greatness is not often recognized. And if you're doing what you're doing so that you can be recognized on this day, in this world, by these people, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. We named this room after Elizabeth Horton Sheff because we couldn't name the school after Elizabeth Horton Sheff. Despite the fact that she is responsible, not just for this school, not just for this day, but for the belief that now hundreds of thousands of people all over this world have in children who come from historically disadvantaged populations, children who come with otherwise academic challenges, children who other people threw away, the land of the misfit toys. This city would not dare provide her the deserved honor of having but one school named after her. See, if you believe that your work will be recognized today by just a tassel that says that you have accomplished your goal with distinction, then you've missed the point. You do not do this work for tassels. You do it for impact. You do it for impact because that's what you were put on this earth to do. Accolades are typically most appreciated by people who don't have the internal fortitude of purpose. Accolades are those things that we bestow upon people as a sign of our appreciation, but they're often used by those individuals themselves who fall short of their own purpose. We use terms often like handle your business, mind your business, or do it on purpose. On purpose, with reason. When you do something on purpose, the accolades that you receive come from the work itself, not always the results. Because it is only by doing it on purpose that you can overcome the limitations of other people's imagination. We were not supposed to be here if we decided to listen to those people around us. The city of Hartford, then and now, continues to fight against this opportunity for you. Aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, council people, state legislators, and anyone else continue to fight against this opportunity. Nas says they hate what they can't conquer. This work that we're doing here does not get easier. The more successful African American, Latino, and white children are, who other people cast aside, the more of a threat you present to the world around you. You challenge the status quo every single day you wake up, put on your entire uniform, including your belt, and come to this school. You are living social justice. But you will not always receive accolades. In most sectors, you will receive more hate, more pushback, the more successful you are. Strange, really. Strange, really. And there are those who have done so much for you to be, whose names you will never hear. You know about Elizabeth Horton Sheff. You should. This room is named for her. We've met, and you know some of the people who work with you. But you don't know Mrs. Daly or Mr. Daly. Husband and wife whose 2 sons graduated from Capital Prep, who is one of the reasons you are here today. She and her husband and 2 other parents decided that they were not going to send their children to another failed Hartford public school. She may not have known the data at the time, but when we opened Capital Prep in 2005, the graduation rate was 29%. As long as you accept the status quo, you are accepting a promise of failure for people from historically disadvantaged populations. As long as you accept the status quo, and as long as you push that on the responsibility of not wanting to make enemies, wanting to find a way to compromise, you will accept failure for hundreds of thousands of children who all they did was wake up in the wrong zip code with more melanin than what they were supposed to. Gay when everybody else is straight. Transgender when everybody else is gay or straight. Latino, immigrant, Muslim. If you are here today for accolades, you are here for the wrong reason. The biggest social justice project that you will participate in is Capital Prep. When I spoke with Crystal, who true to form left out the fact that she was the first valedictorian at Capital Prep. Who left out the fact that she received a scholarship to go to Conn College, a full scholarship to go to Conn College. She said, I wasn't aware of the politics that was going on while I was a student. You guys handled all that. I don't know if we handled it all, Crystal. I don't know. Doesn't ever get easy. It doesn't ever get easier to stare in the face of a grown person who in many cases is the same color that I am, who claims to want the same things that I do, share the same God that I share, live in the communities from which I've come, growing up the same way I grew up, but who for whatever reason are more committed to the accolades of people today than they are to the purpose upon which they are supposed to live. It's not ever easy to do that. It's not ever easy to hear another excuse to do the wrong thing. It's not ever easy to have someone explain to me why I should be patient in a time where we are still sending children to the 6th grade who cannot read a Dr. Seuss book. In Bridgeport, we opened a school after we opened this one. 96% of the children who came to the 6th grade could not read on the 6th grade level. See, I thought that 29% was low. But do you understand you could not hit a spot on this lectern 96% of the time unless you did it on purpose? On purpose. See, we know what motivates you when we find out what your purpose is. Your purpose comes through when no one else is watching. What you represent will show itself regardless of what you say. You can say you're on a diet. We can tell. You can say you support diversity, but we can tell. You can say you believe in our community, but if you believe in our community, then you have the forethought to push yourself to look beyond where we are in this community and see that these children are as talented, if not more so, than any child who's ever been born anywhere on God's earth. When you live on purpose, you do something for a reason that is bigger than yourself. You should not see the social justice project as simply a graduation requirement, but a life's expectation. If you think you put this behind you once you complete it, once you walk with that tassel, once we hand you your diploma, then you missed the point, man. We could have chosen any theme. They all were not taken. But by living on purpose, we had to push back against those people who did not see what we saw. I think it's funny the phrase "ask Capital Prep." When we said we wanted to go to school year round, they said, "Can't do that." In fact, I had to be convinced that children would wear uniforms in the city of Hartford. Mrs. and Mr. Daly come to us from Jamaica, like many of the families who helped us get started. They were West Indian. And I said to them, "We want to run school during the summer. It's hot." And she looked and said, "I'm from Jamaica." Point taken. We all have to be brought from a place from which we currently stand to another place in order for us to extend the notion of social justice. As you grow older, you'll forgive me if I forget some of your faces. And if I see you out of uniform, I definitely will struggle to know who you are. But there are those children who are here today, and you're going to be children for me. I still refer to Crystal as one of our kids. Though she's 8 years married, living in Simsbury, bought her own house, got her. It's her fault for meeting me when she was young. But kids like Chloe. You're not going to find a better child or more committed family to bring their child from the suburbs. See, black and Latino people, we make being a minority seem like it's fun. We dance, we sing, we make movies about it. It seems like it's a cool thing to do. But to choose to be a minority is a whole different thing. It's an entirely different experience. And to stay with it, and to stay with us, will never be forgotten. You are family. We know that today is a celebration of children self-actualizing, understanding that it's not enough that they learn to read, write, and compute for themselves, but they did so on purpose. There are many who've come before you, and they are successful. Dr. Dolores Sofo-Darko, a young lady whose social justice project was initially a beauty pageant, which did not happen. But she said, well, what if I take Little Mrs., the beauty pageant, and turn it into a mentoring program where high school students mentor middle school girls because the middle school girls don't seem to be getting along, ever. Because middle school girls don't like anybody. Ever. Anywhere. And she took that program, turned it into a social justice project, wrote about it in her college essay to Seton Hall, and received a full scholarship to Seton Hall University. And just a couple weeks ago became Dr. Dolores Sofo-Darko. See, y'all know about the kids who went to school because we had some athletes in this school and who continue to go to college for free because of that. And just because, of those of y'all who visit us, just because we whooped up on you over the years, don't take it personally. You know, it was your fault for playing Capital Prep. Shouldn't have done it. Should have played another team. If we ran the score up, it was your fault. But that's not all we've been doing over the past couple years. We've been breaking barriers in so many areas that there are too many to count. That's what being a trailblazer is. To be a trailblazer is to live on purpose, is to push through where no one else would. We are here today because the people who came before you believed in themselves and in some measure believed in you. Many of them will never meet you and you will never meet them. But in the same way that they've created an opportunity for you to live on purpose, it is your obligation to do so for them. As a member of the Capital Prep family, you do not have a choice. I want to make sure I make this abundantly clear. You don't have a choice whether or not you continue to extend social justice. Whether your social justice project is given distinction is not the issue. Few people will ever live to see the work that they've done truly appreciated. But when you live on purpose, you will take this day as a point of inspiration. It will extend the work that you are doing so that you extend opportunity for so many others. You will understand that this social justice project is ongoing. It is a life commitment. You will understand that you have this obligation not to seek recognition, but to make an impact. When we came into this particular room, it was dark. The floors were cement only. The chairs were so badly beaten that you could not sit in them. And the architects said that they wanted to tear this side of the building down, because architects are smarter than everybody, apparently. They wanted to tear this part of the building down. And they said that they could not see why we would keep it. I looked above where I am standing now, and I saw dedication to the education of mind, body, and spirit. And I said, there is no way that you can tear a room down that was dedicated to that. You are in the Chef Center. This is hallowed ground. You are at Capitol Prep. This is hallowed ground. You are a trailblazer, which is a lifelong commitment. You have an obligation to live on purpose, to change the lives of others. I'll close here. At our school in Bridgeport, and our schools in Bridgeport and our school in Harlem, before all school we say a declaration. Our students stand and they say, I strive for excellence in all that I do. We have come together to improve our community and ourselves. They say, we will change the world because we are Capitol Prep. I love you and know that I am always with you. Thank you.
Okay, before we end the opening ceremonies, Dr. Ferguson's going to come back up, and she's got a few words to say.
Actually, now I'm going to go up there. I'm going to just stay down here. I just wanted to, excuse me. I wanted to come and thank you. My necklace is falling off. I apologize. I wanted to thank you all personally for coming in today and for sharing your wisdom, your experiences with our students. There's always the right opportunity to be inspirational, and we know, as Crystal has spoke to so eloquently, the struggles that many of our students face, that many of our families face. We all come in every day playing a little bit hurt. Life is happening to us. It doesn't give us a break because we're Capitol Prep or because you put your superhero cape on. Life is happening, and you still show up every day ready to take this challenge and to have these experiences. And so I'm so thankful for the three of you for coming in this morning and being motivational, sharing your inspiration, sharing your insights, so that our kids can just continue to benefit and feel the strength of all of the shoulders that they're standing on to be successful. So I have a couple of gifts that this year was Conflict and Compromise, as Ms. Courtney Chef spoke to. And Melanie Jackson, who is a junior this year, she's graduating next year. She's not here this morning, correct? Is Melanie here? Okay, so she's not here this morning. She's the designer of the artwork for this social justice conference, and we wanted you to walk away with just a memorial of the event. I'll just take the necklace off because it's getting under my hair. Crystal, thank you so very much for sharing your story. Thank you for being Capital Prep. We wish you Dr. Stephen Perry, founder of Capital Prep. We have other founders in the room as well. Can the other founders stand up? Mr. Cole, you can raise your hand. Dr. Perry, without Dr. Perry's vision and fight and fortitude, we simply wouldn't be here. And so even though he has continued his purposeful living and his vision, and thank God has been able to open up many other Capital Preps, he stays very connected to this Capital Prep, and we thank you. We can't be Capital Prep without Dr. Perry. So thank you for We wouldn't be magnet schools without Ms. Horton Chef. 30 plus years of fight for children that are not her biological children, but for children that are her children.
Yes.
And so without Ms. Horton Chef, we don't exist. And thank you so much. I want to thank Ms. Boudet. Where did she sneak off to? Ms. Boudet, who's our math lead, she is the chair of the Social Justice Conference this year, and she has just gone above and beyond. I hope everyone has had an opportunity to enjoy in the trio downstairs. We have voter registration going on downstairs for anyone who needs to register to vote, and just the raffle baskets, everything. I can't thank you enough, Ms. Boudet. So a token of appreciation.
Okay, so that brings the opening ceremonies to an end. We're going to begin transitioning to classrooms for presentations. You can refer to your brochures for locations, grab some food on your way, and enjoy our students' work.
So we are at Capital Prep Magnet School, 3rd Annual Social Justice Conference. I am here now with Ms. Elizabeth Horton Chef, justice seeker and community activist. First of all, welcome to the Jamaica Diaspora Show.
Thank you very much.
And Harvard Public Access Television.
Thank you.
So we've just concluded the opening presentation for the conference. Can you speak to the conference's theme and give us an overview of your talk to the students?
Well, the conference theme is conflict and compromise. And my remarks centered around the fact that social justice is fraught with conflict because, as Karl Marx would say, the struggle between resources, between those that have and those that don't, that makes up the conflict that we see in our communities today, in our schools, in our housing, in our employment, in our criminal justice system. So we talked a little bit about the fact that when you're a social justice seeker, when you are a community activist, that conflict will be a part of your life, and that people are not going to always like you, and that, in fact, there is a high possibility that you will be attacked personally, professionally, but that's a part of being a social justice advocate. So the compromise part, I believe and spoke about the fact that, yes, we do have to compromise in order to negotiate, in order to move forward. But we have to know our own self so that we understand when you cross the line from compromise into losing your integrity. And so I am clear that we do have to give and take, but not at the expense of those we seek to serve.
Well, thank you very much, because certainly from the response of your presentation, it certainly resonated with the students, and so thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right. At Capital Prep Magnet School, at its third annual Social Justice Conference, I'm here now with Dr. Steve Perry. Dr. Perry is the founder, actually, of Capital Preparatory Magnet School. Welcome to the Jamaica Diaspora Show, Dr. Perry.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, we've just had the opening presentation for the third annual Social Justice Conference, and you are the keynote speaker. Can you please give us an overview on basically your message? Because it was very well received.
My message is that if you're doing something that is supposed to be good for accolades, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. You have to do it on purpose. Do it because it's the right thing to do for others. And by extension, you will receive the accolades that you seek in tenfold.
Now, Dr. Perry, the students have prepared projects centered around social justice. Can you comment on the initiative that brought about the creation of this project activity?
The expectation for Capital Prep is that you learn not just so that you can improve your life, but so that you can extend your light to the rest of the world. And so we decided to create what we refer to as a social justice project, with the expectation that every single child has something to contribute to the world at large. And when we train them up right, they grow to be the women and men who we know that they always had the capacity to be.
Well, Dr. Perry, thank you very much, and thank you for the outstanding contribution that you have made to the community in establishing Capital Prep.
Well, thank you for having me, and my greatest contribution is standing out of the way of these very, very talented educators and children, and letting them do what it is that God put them on this earth to do.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, take care.
And we are at Capital Preparatory Magnet School's third annual Social Justice Conference. I am here now with the person that is responsible for coordinating this event. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Barb Rude. I am a proud math teacher here at Capital Preparatory Magnet School, and I'm thrilled to have had the opportunity to plan our third annual Social Justice Conference.
Can for those that are not familiar with this thing, can you define the entire thing for the Social Justice Conference?
Well, our theme is conflict and compromise this year. Social justice is such a vast theme because there are so many aspects of social justice in our lives. But what we're focusing on this year is conflict and compromise, meaning that yes, we have to speak up, we have to be heard. Not everybody's going to like everything that we have to say. But in conjunction with that, we also need to make sure that we work with our community to have productive results.
Well, now, the introductory portion of the conference has just concluded, so now we're going to have the opportunity to review some of these projects. Can you give us an idea of what we can expect?
Well, our seniors, right now we have 9 seniors who are competing for distinction, meaning that they have done exemplary social justice projects that involve research, literature review, multiple presentations, community outreach, education within the school and outside the school, and they have done such a phenomenal job that they are competing to be the best of the best, basically. And we have everything from gay and transgender issues to students who are working for dental care access for all communities, for all members. Basically, any area of social injustices that our students have had a passion for, and they have presented and moved forward with. So this is really exciting for us. Plus, we have our 5th graders and our 8th graders who are doing smaller scale, but in preparing for their senior year social justice projects. So basically, it's everybody talking about their passion and what they can do to help their community.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
We are at the 3rd Annual Social Justice Conference at Capitol Preparatory School in Hartford, Connecticut. And I am here standing with a past student alumni, Trailblazer alumnus, Mrs. Crystal Rosario Gonzalez, who delivered a fine presentation to the students of her alma mater. And so can you give us an overview of what you see in the social justice area and your thoughts on today's opening ceremony?
Thank you. Well, I see a lot of people and a lot of folks are involved in making a difference. There's still a lot to overcome though, right? There's still a lot of change that needs to happen. But there are a lot of people and a lot of students that are open and willing, and they're learning about a lot of our problems that affect more than just our local community, but our nation and global issues. So my reflection on the opening ceremony, it was very powerful to hear from our founders. Being invited back was such an honor as the first graduating class, and being able to see all the success from the students here in the room and visitors and alumni that also were able to join.
Well, I just wanted to mention that you were also the valedictorian when you were at Capitol Prep. How long ago was that?
Thank you for mentioning that. That was 12 years ago.
Okay.
12 years.
Well, thank you so much. I just wanted to make sure that the viewers got a chance to see Capitol Prep's first valedictorian and the success that you have going on to achieve in your life as a result of having attended school. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it, and thank you. Thank you for exposing the community, the viewers, and the children.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And we are at Capitol Preparatory Magnet School, and I am here with the principal, Dr. Christia Ferguson. And we have just concluded the opening presentation of the 3rd Annual Social Justice Conference. Dr. Ferguson, please give us your thoughts on this day.
Well, this day is a magnificent day to be able to celebrate our students. We are here today to celebrate our students and the work that they've done through their senior year. We are so blessed to have our kids for 15 years, from pre-K3 all the way to the 12th grade. And I don't want to call it a finished product, because certainly they have a long way to go in working on their purpose, but this is a milestone for them to finish their capstone and be able to go out in the community and figure out how they're going to make impact around issues of social justice, really defining the definition of social justice at this point in their life, and continuing forward as trailblazers to work on causes that, with impact, that have meaning to them.
Now, can you give us an idea of the projects that we're going to see when we go to view the projects that the students have actually done for this presentation?
Well, we have 9 students presenting today, all at distinction level. And one of the projects is around bringing dental care into urban areas. So we have a student who worked with a dental office and was able to do some community dental services. So that's one of the projects that's presenting today. We also have projects presenting on issues of compassion and being empathetic towards those that are maybe not like us. So then how do we develop the capacity around those soft social skills to be able to be empathetic, collaborative problem solvers? I'm trying to think of all the different projects happening, but the kids have worked really hard to put together I don't want to call them projects because the word project seems so small in this moment. It's not really a project, it's more a life's work right now, and what's touched their heart and what is killing them softly that they feel like they need to speak out against and really be able to come up with a solution. Not just raise awareness, but how can I impact and make a change around this issue to bring resources to people who may not have the resources.
Dr. Furches, thank you so much.
You're so very welcome.
And we are at Capital Preparatory Magnet School in Hartford, Connecticut. And we have just concluded the opening presentation for the third annual Social Justice Conference. And I'm here now with an attendee at the conference. Sir, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. My name is TJ Clark, and I am from the Hartford City Council.
Now, you are from the Hartford City Council. Sir, can you please give us your thoughts and reflections on this event?
This event, I think, is always much needed here at the city. We live in an age where social justice is something that we ought to be advocating for in the era where our rights from the rights are being taken away. They're being stripped almost daily. And so that we need to actually start now at the ground level, at the children's level, the school level, to prepare them how to be an advocate for their rights so that when they go through school, they'll be able to defend themselves more and understand the culture and the history of how we have to struggle, and we still are struggling to this day.
Now, you are a city councilman and very active in the community. Can you give us your background?
My background, I did not attend Hartford Public Schools. I am a graduate of the Bloomfield Public Schools. However, I've grown up in the city of Hartford throughout my life, and so that this is something that always has been near and dear to my heart to make sure that I know my rights. I was raised as understanding my rights, and being on the council now and also being in the health field, it is very important that people of color need to understand their rights and how to be an advocate for them. And as an elected person from the city of Hartford, who I serve the entire city, it is my duty to make sure that no one is discriminated against, and to be an advocate for them from on the policy side.
Now, in addition to being on the city council, are you an advocate in other areas as well?
Yes, I do work for a community health center, which is a federally qualified health center. And you see what's been going on since the new administration's taken office with the repeal of Obamacare, and we need to make sure that those that are in urban areas that are minorities, they need to make sure that they have equal and equitable access to health care.
Well, that's a key point, because now I know recently Senator Doug McClory held a forum that dealt with medical disparities and treatment. Were you aware of that forum that Senator McClory did?
Yes, I did attend that forum.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Can you give us your thoughts on that?
My thoughts, it was a well-attended event by various community organizations, whether they're in the health field or the policy field. And I think things like that need to take place more often because now that we see a lot of this playing out in the media, people are now being awakened to the different things that are taking place to strip us of our rights, whether it's through health care, which includes Medicaid, or changing over from various plans, or just not understanding if you ride in an ambulance, you have a right to tell that ambulance which hospital to bring you to. So things like that people need to be educated on, and then we do need to talk about access to equitable health care, and for the fact of all that's been going on with the opioid epidemic. Black people have been going through this for years, and then we need to make sure that we have access to the same rights as other folks that actually would be able to afford those type of treatments.
Well, Councilman, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
That's all right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.